Hello and welcome everyone. I'm Amethyst Room Witch, and today's book review is not just one book, it's not two books, but it is three books. And it's three books because to me they're kind of a set. Now I did buy them individually, but once I got one I had to have the other two. That's a thing with me, is that if there's some kind of a themed set, I have to have them. Like there's a whole series of books, the Little Book of, that those will feature another day because that's a whole nother set of stuff. But for this one, this is all about the illustrated herbiary, crystallary, and bestiary by Maia. So these books, they're not just books, they are also a deck of cards. Now I say that because I have them. The cards come with the book, and I love these cards. I really do. So as an example, each one, not as an example, each of the books, so the herbiary, the crystallary, and the bestiary, each one has 36 different herbs, crystals, and animals. And that's, when I say animals, that's not just the it's all creatures. I believe there's fish involved. I want to say there's fish involved. So I'll start with the bestiary because that's easier. There's bears, there's red salmon. There you go. There is a snake involved. Grey wolf, swan, mouse, turtle. There's humans even in it. Humans feature in it, and each one has a. So I've put all three decks in one because I don't just want to use one. I want to use them all. So because they're all it's all by the same person. They're all laid out the same way. The only way to tell the difference is by the artwork on the back. So this card happens to be, I would have said it was bestiary, but it's not. Okay, it's not the crystallary because that's purple. I know that. Oh, it's the herbiary. So this one is a herb, and specifically it's yarrow. So it not only tells you what herb it is, as well as the page, what page to refer to for Maia information about it. But there's a little phrase at the top of the card about, it's sort of like a little snapshot into that herb. So yarrow, pocket of protection. And the artwork, I think, always is handy with it. So this one is herbiary. Then we've got a crystallary. It's the purple one. The purple is all purple. And this one happens to be rose quartz, a different kind of love. Again, it does have the page number on it at the bottom, just underneath rose quartz. But this is just an idea of what the different cards look like. And then that's another crystallary one. So, yep, no, we haven't looked at the bestiary one. And this one just happens to be green. It's a greeny green. But this one happens to be earthworm. And the phrase at the top is discover your purpose. but it's, you know, the artwork is great. I love the cards. It makes it really easy to kind of be like, well, if I was going to pull a card a day, I would probably pull from these three into, you know, completely mixed up decks. If I wanted to, I could separate them out. I just don't want to. I'd like to use them all together because 36 just seems too small a number to me, but that's just me. But with whether it's the bestiary, the crystallary, or the herbiary, it's each book has 4 pages per card. So when it says, as an example, Yarrow it says page 108 at the bottom. So just to show, let's have a look at page 108. I've gone too far. Oh, and I'm looking in the wrong book. I was looking at the bestiary book, and it's the herbiary one I wanted. See, I love these books because, as I said, each one has a 4-page spread. So it starts page 108 with the image of the card. So if for whatever reason you prefer a bigger image to look at, it's there for you. And it's a lot bigger. It's a lot bigger. Crikey. And then it's just got some musings about yarrow, the actual scientific name of the plant. I am not going to try and say that because I can barely talk English on a good day. Speak English. I can barely speak English on a good day. I'm not going to branch out into Latin. But then there's a ritual, and a reflection. So I think sometimes there isn't a ritual. Not all of them have rituals. Although in the herbiary it looks like each of them does, and they all have reflections as well. So ignore that bit for the herbiary. So for yarrow, personal space. And when it comes to personal space, it's all about boundaries. Can you set your own boundaries? Can you say no to other people? It's that, you know, and it's an idea. So I always use any book, whether it's one of these or, you know, one of the other myriad spell books that I have that aren't mine. I use them as inspiration. So the theme of the ritual for yarrow is all about re-establishing personal space. And I could potentially take that idea and go, well, how would I want to do that? You know, what like how could I go about doing that? And I'll double check in the crystallary and the bestiary, but this is what I get from the herbiary. And it genuinely does go through every, like, Rosemary's there. Rosemary, which is all about remembrance. And it's got the honouring ancestral memory, the fact that we're made of memories. And it's, some of them are longer, some of them are a bit shorter. Maia gives ideas on how to work with the cards. If you want to do a 1 card, you know, a card a day sort of thing, a 2 card spread, then there's a 4 card one of a cycle, and the 4 cards is related to herbiary because it's the root, the shoot, the flower, the fruit, the cycle of them. So looking at the crystallary, because I'm going backwards in the order, and then it's got what all the cards look like. Thank yous from Maia, just a double-sided page. And then this is what all the cards came in, and they did come in like perforated card thingamajiggies, because they do have, I don't know if you can tell, but there is actually a little bump just along there, just there, from where it was, cut out but still left attached. I never know what that's called. Never know what it's called, but it's that thing. It's the thing where you have to sort of pop the cards out yourself. But yeah, no, so there's the 4-card doodad. I mean, there's how to use it. There's with the crystallary cards, I say cards, with the 4-page spread per crystal in the crystallary book is, again, it's the image of the card, the phrase that Maia is, suggesting we use that for, the name of it, and then some musings about it. But she also gives the Mohs hardness scale as well. And then there's a ritual and a reflection. So for Azurite, it's all about, what was it? Activating the void. So that's obviously being about full of emptiness. That's what the ritual's about. And then you've got a reflection of what makes you feel free. There's Labradorite, of course. There's a ritual and a reflection. I'm fairly certain one of these 3 has something else instead of rituals. So it has rituals, but it has something else as well. But that might just be me being an absolute idiot. And some of these cards are really not just well designed, but just looking at the rose quartz one, that's the image of the card. It's genuinely the image of the card. Mohs hardness 7. There's a ritual of 4-element purification, a reflection. So I feel like the reflections could be like a journaling prompt if you're into journaling. I'm not, but well, I sort of am with my blog, but not in the sense of I'm going to dedicate a blog post to a single card. I try not to do that. But it goes through, it obviously doesn't give every crystal because there's so many of those. But again, it goes through how to work with the cards if you want an idea. So if you're buying this as your first set, it does give you an idea of like a 1-card draw, a 2-card crossing draw. This one has a 3-card digging deep, so it's like the different layers. So the layers of the earth, the outer crust, the mantle, and the inner core. So it's the surface level of the situation. It's a little bit deeper, where the cause of effect are. And then the core of the matter, the truths that really need to be faced. We've got the thank yous, the sources and resources. The rest of the collection. So if you get what it looks like from this, you've got the that as well. You've got the image of what the back of the cards look like, and again you've got the pocket where the cards are. So if you don't know where the cards are, check the back. Check the back of the book. Where's the back? So that's the herbiary, the crystallary, and now the bestiary. So bestiary, not a lot of people know what that is. It's just a collection relating to animals. It's the beasts. So the crystallary is all about crystals. The herbiary is all about plants and herbs. It's kind of self-explanatory, but not everyone knows bestiary. But that's okay. You're not always meant to know everything. And again, it's 36 guidance and rituals from 36 inspiring animals. So there's as I said, we've got the white-tailed deer, the red salmon, we've got a common raven in there, even a monarch butterfly. So there's all sorts of animals. Grey wolf is in there. Got a tabby cat. Cats are in there. So there's, again, it's so, I love these. I keep forgetting to use them. So yeah, no, as I said, I really do forget to use these. It's my own fault. I've got such a collection of card decks that it's just part of, the cards are just part of my decks. So they are always in there. They're always in just this plain little black bag that they barely fit into. But I do like how the books are set out. I love how the books are set out. This is just looking at the earthworm on page 111. Again, same image as on the card. That's on the same image that's on the card tells you that this is the page you're looking for. Same thing. The phrase, the earthworm, the Latin name, musings, general musings, and then there's a ritual. So of course, earthworm's phrase is discover your purpose. So the ritual is connecting with purpose. And then the reflection is, are you balanced? It's really interesting with them. I really do like it. I really do, because there's, as I said, it's 36 different ones and each one has a 4-page spread. And then at the back it does give you the how to use, so it gives you the 1 card, 2 card crossing, and then is there it doesn't really have a set spread particular to the bestiary cards. And then it gives sources and resources, thank you, authors thank yous. It does tell you it's the herbiary again. The herbiary. Some info about Maia, the imagery from the back of the card, and where the cards came from. So it's literally exactly the same. It's exactly the same for each. The layout is exactly the same, which I think is really good. I like that. Perhaps it's just me. But I really do like them because I feel like I've connected better with some of the plants and animals and crystals in ways that I hadn't thought was possible. Ruby, for example, is you only more so. That's the phrase at the top of the card. And it's a spider on a heart a heart made of ruby, by the way, surrounded by roses that are both about to, that are about to bloom or blooming, and that have had their day, but they're still roses. But I love these. They've been really helpful, especially some of the animal ones. Cow and the bull, appreciate the process. I don't know why, but this card makes me think of the dreams that a pharaoh had that Joseph interpreted, relating to the 7 years of amazing harvests, followed by 7 years of famine. And it makes me think of Joseph in the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, starring, what's his name? Donny Osmond, that's the one. And the Elvis, like the pharaoh who's a bit like Elvis, and that whole thing, like, it just makes me think of that. But it's like, appreciate the process, because it's like, you've had a dream, you've got to interpret it, and then you've got to take action. Like, once you've interpreted it, then it's understand the meaning, and then it's take action. Take what action you think is appropriate in this instance. And just following that process, because he had the dreams, and he had them for like several days in a row, because none of his normal advisors could interpret them. And then he finds Joseph, gets connected with Joseph. Joseph comes along and goes, tell me about the dreams, come on. Because it's the cows, and then you've got the ears of corn, you've got the corn showed up in the dreams as well. And it's just, I love that section of that musical. But it's, it's appreciating the process, because it was a whole process just to get Joseph in the mix. And then it was a whole process to get Joseph to understand them. And then it was a process to take action. Like, there's so much. It was really, so do you see what I mean? It's like, that's where that card's taken me, with the cow and the bull. Appreciate the process. There was a whole process behind the dream and the end result, and it's just, that's my connection from it. But if I wanted to look at the page 51, nearly there, a bit too far. So if I were to look at the musings from the cow and bull page in the book, a lot of what cow and bull eat is indigestible to other animals. Like, as we can't digest the same foods in the same way. They have a whole thing to it. There's a process to them eating. Do you know what I mean? It's like, they munch on field grass. Doesn't matter about the fibre. Then once they've, filled up, once they're full, they lie down, they chew the cud. And they just mull things over. There's a process to their digestion. There's a reason why cows were so important to ancient peoples, whether, regardless of what kind of part of the world people were in. They were important. Cows and bulls were important. So my thought process went to the dream, Joseph, and helping the pharaoh to say, keep Egypt alive for those 7 years because of the bumper crops. the bumper harvest that they had for 7 years, and taking advantage of that, preparing for the famine that followed. So my thought process for this card is different to the book. So, and I love that I followed a different idea when it came to the cow and bull and interpreting the appreciate the process phrase. But I can, even when I've read what Maia wrote, I still understand it. Sorry, Luna's being a crazy cat all of a sudden. She's being a weirdo. She's having a moment, that's all I'm saying. She's having a moment. So it's, but I like that I can use the book if I'm not sure about something, say, so there's the rose from the herbiary. The phrase at the top, I don't know if you can read that, says crack open. And yeah, I'm not feeling the connection between roses and cracking open. I mean, there's a thorns, but you know, when you break your finger on a thorn, you hurt yourself. I mean, technically you crack open your skin to allow the blood to escape, but it's still like, it's not a solid one. It's not solid instant like the cow and the bull. So, looking at the herbiary, this is page 56, so not far off. There we are. So, crack open. Let's see. Rose knows that to experience love in full, you need to be a strong vessel while at the same time cracking open to let other people in. A contradiction? No more a contradiction than flowers and thorns. Rose reminds you to embrace dualities and say both and instead of either or. Yeah, I'm still not really. See, I'm not getting that connection that Maia had. So, looking at the ritual, wear your thorns. Like Rose, we've been cultivated for beauty. Male or female, we tend our appearance, choosing clothing that complements our complexion, styling our hair and adorning ourselves with jewellery and makeup, or both. And like hybrid roses, we cultivate ourselves. As we cultivate ourselves, it's easy to become rather thornless. Perhaps it's less about, in that respect, just going by that, there's a connection between being open, cracking open, and being authentically you, and not needing to wear a mask or needing to look absolutely perfect. Because as you know, there's no such thing as perfect. Roses have thorns too, you know. So perhaps it's less about saying we have to be perfect, we have to look a certain way, we have to adhere to, you know, societal norms. Or, no, sorry, not societal norms, societal expectations. Sorry. I'm going to tone down that because that's a separate kind of thing. So with the crack open, it could be like a, you know, just being comfortable as yourself, less needing to be defined by a set of rules that apparently everyone else adheres to. I mean, the reflection is see yourself whole. Because we've got, in going by the societal expectations, we're compared to other people. We compare ourselves to other people. So it's turning around and going, well, are you really that? Or are you actually like I as an individual see imperfections. Maybe that's not true. I will fully hold my hands up and say, I don't do makeup. I wear what I'm comfortable in. I don't tend to follow fashions. If I like something, I will buy it. But if I don't, it's not. There's no point in me letting it take up space in my wardrobe or my drawers. It's just not going to work. So perhaps that's why I don't get that card, because I've already sort of cracked open and I'm just like, this is me. This is who I am. You're seeing me in a state where I'm not quite 100%, but I'm still trying. I'm still showing up. I'm still doing this. But that's the beauty of it, is I didn't connect with this card, but I've started to through the book. Some cards are amazing and I love them. Like the sea turtle, find your element. What's the sea turtle do? It goes where it wants. It does its thing. If it needs to go to a coral reef, it goes to a coral reef. Hematite, anchor in. It's an anchoring, grounding, centering kind of crystal. There's all sorts. But yeah, no, that's I would recommend getting all three. If you prefer to just have get one at a time, connect with one, and then get the next one, that's absolutely fine. But I would recommend getting all three because I love them. Like, the back is really the only way to tell that you've got different, they're not all from the exact same deck. Right? But they're all by the same person, and it's a sort of semi-related series. But I love these books. They've helped, like, they really have. It's a wonderful set. I think you can buy them as a set. I know you can buy them individually, but the Bestiary, Crystallary, and Herbiary books by Maia that comes with 36 oracle cards that you can use as individual decks or do what I've done and mix them all up all together. It's your choice. But I genuinely do love how the books are set out. Like the rituals, you don't have to do the rituals. I prefer to either do my own thing or attend a ritual online that is led by someone that I know, someone that I trust, who I know has done it before. Like this is genuinely just an idea, and sometimes the rituals can come in handy. So like with the rose card, I had to look at the ritual to really start to connect with it. So yeah, it's definitely an interesting trio, interesting cards. gorgeous artwork. I just wish there were more. But then again, if I were to add all the things that I wanted into each one, each book would be, two, twice or three times the size by the end of it. So perhaps it's a good idea Maia Toll stuck to 36 each, making it easier. I mean, they're all illustrated. No, 2 are illustrated by the same person. Who's the illustrator for these ones? Oh, it is. They're all done by Kato Hara. So that's why they all have the same kind of look to them. So yeah, no, if you want to connect to plants, crystals, and animals without actually being able to go near them or have them, buy them, grow them, etc., this is a good place to start. So if you found this helpful, or you know someone who might find it useful, please do like and share with them. And I will be back again soon with some magic, more book reviews, unboxings, you name it, it'll get covered. And I will see you again soon. Stay safe, everyone, and blessings to you all.